Hello guys and welcome back to Hey Manager with me Alex, and today we're going to be going through the new FM26 update that was released today whilst I was at work. Saw it come through on my Twitter and now it's here to stay. So first of all, what I want to do is let's go and watch the video together. Let's have a look at what's going on, because the main thing is I want to try and cover off and see exactly what they're going to include and what we can expect from the trailer that we've just seen. So let me just get it up on my screen. Here we go, it's in the background now. We'll play through this together and we'll actually listen to what they've got to offer. This is the main thing, this is what I want to be listening to, this is what we all waited for. Let's see what they actually show us. So just turn the sound up a tiny bit on that.
Long.
The wait has been long. It's been 2 long years, and this is actual
ignore.
game footage, not final. So we're expecting better
changed,
graphics.
But that feeling,
This looks a bit like, as they've
left.
got FIFA on there, EA Sports FC. I guess it's because they're sponsored of the Premier League. Guess who's back? It is Football Manager 26, and that's it. That's it. Coming soon. There's a few different bits, a few different aspects to actually read into here. Like, if we have just a flick through here, you can see going forwards.
Impossible.
This is the type of, this is the type of thing that we've been waiting for ages. The grass doesn't look brilliant, but at least we're getting a few new animations, a few actual, like, licensable, leagues into the game. We see some of the sponsors. The crowd looks much better. Looks like, an actual crowd, so to speak, like that. You can see we've got a bit more. I don't want to say we've got higher detail, because by the looks of things they do still look a bit animated,
changed,
but the movements are a little bit better.
It never left.
As you can see here, the movement looks a little bit better in the background there. Let me just have a look here. You can see, like, back in, well, even current day, you can see them, they walk out, everything's blurred, you can't really see much. See at the back here, people sat down. It looks a little bit more detailed than last time, is the main one. The Premier League trophy, they're going to actually have the trophies in the game because they're trying to push all the licensing. Guess who's back? It's FM26, and there's not much else to it. There is not much else to it. So what I thought I'd do off the back of this is have a look at what's actually been leaked. So FM26, so we're on FM Scout, I believe here. Yep, FM Scout. They've actually released some player roles. So if we just zoom in for us here, we'll be able to read this together. So what they've managed to do is, on the hidden files on SI's FM database website, we're going to see a few different new leaks. So tactical overhaul or terminology overhaul, we'll have to see what happens. But if we just scroll down here, we can actually see some of the FM26 new roles. So we'll go through bit by bit. FM26 offers you more tools than ever before, apparently, more fluidity. This is what they want it to be doing. We're so used to seeing, and this is something that FIFA have really caught up with FM on, is having players in certain positions. Like EAFC have the classic 10, they have a playmaker, they have shadow striker. They've sort of copied to a degree what FM have done, and then you've got an in-possession formation and out-of-possession formation. Now, FM need to rejuvenate that. They need to try and add even more roles to make things, there'll be different ways that they actually interact with each other, and this makes so many new sort of tactics that can be made, so many different ways of playing. You can probably take out one player, put a new player in who plays a certain build, and then move the team around and make sure that they play that. I like what they're doing with it. So we've got goalkeeper roles. So we'll start off with here. Standard goalkeeper, there's nothing new, all balanced. Line holding keeper. Remains in the box, avoids field play beyond the box. So we'll only stay in the box. We see this, but like David De Gea is a great example, I think. Doesn't really go outside of his box. Will remain in the box. Will take the ball on, but will not leave the box. No nonsense goalkeeper, plays safe, avoids risky passes. We see that with a lot of relegation teams going down from the Prem. We see, a lot of championship sides actually playing that way. It's just get it out of play. If you're under the cosh, you're playing against a team that's got high press and plays really well, just kick it out of play. And then we have sweeper keeper and ball playing keeper. Engages in build up, plays like an outfield player. We've sort of already got that at the moment. It's relatively new, the ball keeping goalkeeper, but I think the sweeper would like to come out and gets off his line early. With the ball playing is a bit like a Onana, I want to say, where they'll take the ball on, and like an Edison who will take the ball on. So that's the sort of thing we're looking at. Then centre back. So we've got a new one, advanced centre back, breaks into DM role in build up. So obviously this is you're looking at probably I'm trying to think of a player that actually does this, that pushes forward. I want to say like a Canate drops in, or John Stones did it a lot previously, where he'd actually push in, and maybe the defensive midfielder Fernandinho would drop out and into the back line once you saw the fact like John Stones going up. Everything else is pretty much, it's relatively the same. Overlapping centre back, that's just like I want to say that's a ball playing centre back that gets forward. Overlaps to wide areas. I want to say that's wide centre back attack potentially. Covering wide centre back, stopping wide centre back. Again, I think they might be getting rid of. This looks like, I don't want to say this, but it looks like they might be getting rid of the defend, cover, stopper. 3 type of roles. They're just going to go straight into one. And the advanced centre back is a game changer. It blends libero. That's because that's going to be going with modern positional fluidity. So paired up with the inverted fullback, you've got tactical system mimicking elite setups like Guardiola City or De Zerbi's Brighton. Very interesting. So then you've got fullback roles. You've got holding fullback stays deeper while the team presses. Inside fullback tucks behind the centre back line for build up. We've then got the pressing fullback, supports high up the pitch and assists the press. We've then got the wing-back roles, holding wing-back, stays deep. Inside of wing-back, shuttles to the centre, so this is like your false back, I guess, in EAFC. Pressing wing-back, pushes up. That's like the Adorgus, that's how Amarin likes to play, presses players up the pitch. Playmaking wing-back, I think this is like, I want to say this is to potentially try and get the likes of Trent in there, who is going to be a bit more of a defensive liability, but if you play a 5 at the back, you could have 2 playmaking wing-backs who could become like, your Trents and then even in your Robertsons, where they try and push forward and play good balls in. And then you've got Springs high and wide for the advanced wing-back who likes to play as a wide midfielder. So like a Frimpong, I guess. Defensive midfielder roles, you've got dropping DM, goes into the back line when under pressure. Screening DM, stands in the central zone, cutting off passing lanes. I guess that's more like I want to say it's like a Matic or like a Kante who sits, cuts off the passing lanes. Dropping DM, again, it's like a Fernandinho, as I mentioned. I'm trying to think of other players that drop into the centre. Like, okay, I guess a Casemiro drops quite deep into the centre-back roles under Ten Hag. We've then got the wide covering DM. We've got the pressing DM who pushes higher up. We've also got new central midfielder roles. Screening CM, much similar. Wide covering CM, so that's going out wide. Defensive protection to the flanks. So again, these are like, I guess these might be in the midfield 3, where you might want to, or have a defensive midfield 2, that when you get your wing backs going forwards, you can let them cover outside, which has always been difficult to do on FM, I feel. Box to box midfielder, classic. Box to box playmaker, so this is like your Bruno role, who is going to be pressing, drops deep, needs lots of stamina, but he's very creative at the same time. Channel midfielder, so this is like an Iwobi to me, the player that likes to play out wide but sits central to a degree. Mason Mount does it very well when he was at Chelsea. Midfield playmaker, so this is again like an advanced playmaker, I guess, but it's just been renamed. And then the pressing CM, which is like you met Salah, steps up, presses high, likes to get involved, likes to take players on. That's the type of thing we're looking at. We've then got the tracking wide midfielder, drops deep to defend, so again like a defensive wide midfielder, like a Dwight McNeil, I guess. Wide central midfielder, so again, someone that I want to say like a Schweinsteiger maybe, someone that played that role in the past. Likes to play out wide, but can sit inside as well. Maybe like I don't want to say a Foden, but wide central midfielder makes sense. Wide outlet midfielder, stays high while avoiding defensive duties. So this is someone that, again, a luxury player. I can't really think of one. Wide outlet midfielder, maybe like a Mahrez, I want to say. Doesn't really defend, but stays up and wide. I don't know. Attacking midfielder roles, we've got the tracking AM, drops deep to help defend. So, again, a player that, might be good at shooting, might not be great at passing, but can defend really well. But so you want to put him in that attacking midfielder role. Central outlet attacking midfielder remains high while avoiding defensive duties. Same with splitting outlet AM. The attacking midfielder remains high and goes wide for counters. So, that would be I guess that could actually be seen as your Amarin forward. So remains high and goes wide for the counters, like an Mbuemo potentially. And you've got the free roll, which is effectively your roaming playmaker. New wingers, here we go. This is what we want to see. Half space winger, obviously moves inwards with the overlapping fullbacks. A lot of players do that nowadays. Inside winger, similar to half space winger, central movement, so basically an inverted winger, I want to say. Inverting outlet winger stays high, moves inwards for counters. Only on the counter attack will they go inwards, but they'll stay wide otherwise. Tracking winger is just a defensive winger. Wide outlet winger stays high, does not engage in defence. Wide playmaker, we know that as already as an advanced playmaker. Wide forward, we know that as like the Raumdeuter back in the day, or wide target forward. Inside forward, we all know what that is. And then we've got the striker role. So we've got the half space forward, wide attacker who cuts into score. So Gyökeres, great example of that. Second striker, drops deep in space early, runs up to score. I think we're looking at like that being a Højlund, where you don't actually, he drops very deep and then runs in, but you know, he was a second striker without a primary striker. Channel forward, high energy runner into wide channels. Again, probably, I don't know who to think of a player like that. I want to say Vardy, but I don't think it was. It's just someone who runs constantly. Central outlet centre forward or complete forward remains high, avoids defensive work. Splitting outlet centre forward remains high and drifts wide for counters. Then tracking centre forward drops deep to assist in defence. So a defensive forward nonetheless. So we're looking at, you know, lots of tactical insights, lots of changes. You can see there's going to be lots of different. What can you do? Outlet roles against tracking, channel against poacher. You know, channel forward is agile and disruptive, pressing wide areas. The poacher on its part remains central and waits for the opportunities. So, like a Haaland, I guess. False nine versus deep lying forward, both drop deep, but the false nine is more creative. Pressing wing back versus pressing full back, both roles maintain high pressing, but the wing back is supposedly better for gegenpressing for the 3-4-3 in the attacking teams. So letting players get forward a bit. Yeah, it's going to be very interesting this year. I want to see exactly what they actually do with all this information, because I want to see like all these different types of formations now, because you can have the 5 at the back, the 3 at the back. You can have a 3 at the back, but make it look like a 5 at the back. You can have a 4 at the back, but then you can have a defensive midfielder drop into it, so it becomes a 5. I think what they're trying to do is, as they say, a lot more fluidity. There's simplicity in it. Apparently, some of the more far-out FM roles, Matsala, Segundo Volante, and Gant seems to be renamed or merged. Obviously, maybe to simplify it, but I feel like they're such a role-defining name that should be it. Tactical depth, so again, you can have different types of players in different types of squads with the same 25-man squad. And then storytelling potential. So the roles of central outlet, attacking midfielder, and wide outlet winger suggest more narratively driven styles, players with particular personalities and responsibilities, which is interesting. So I'm going to be looking forward to using lots of these. I think that's about it. And thank you, Stam, for your contribution here. I think it'll be very interesting to see what actually happens with all this, because playing these types of forward, there's going to be infinite amounts of tactical, you know, plays here. What you want to have as your centre backs, what you want to have as your wing backs or your full backs. That in itself, you could have so many different partnerships, pairings. You can bring in certain players. We'll see. I think what we'll be seeing is, and in all honesty, I think we'll be seeing a lot of different tactics that adapt to players that aren't actually particularly great FM players, but are role players. We're moving towards a basketball type. We've had, like, as I can compare it, we've had like very similar like Phil Jackson type triangles, which has been your Guardiola of the world, that has made it like, you know, the tiki-taka type play where it's all like within triangles, you can triangulate the play. We've then gone to a more fluid style, which is like your 3-pointers, which is then going as a move on to like the 4-3-3s, where you get the 3 forwards that can just do whatever they want. All 3 attackers can attack wherever they can. Stephen Curry, the 3-pointer, more points, more goals, so to speak. And now we're getting into the point where we see NBA teams with role players, with roles, with teams and a tactic that emphasise on team play. We're seeing that more so in the Premier League now, in the football world. A lot of, you know, you saw Guardiola link up with the Celtics boss. I can't remember what his name is now, the Celtics coach. But those sort of tactics are coming into football, and that's what interests me. Very systematic play, very much your manager has a tactic. You need a player to fit that tactic. A lot more ins, a lot more outs. Makes football very much more interesting. So it's going to make Football Manager more interesting. So thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy the video, please leave a like, subscribe if you're new. 294 sub-managers, trying to aim for that 300, and I hope you did enjoy this. I hope I'm not too late on the trend. But if you do want more FM26 news, now that it's looking like it's going to start ramping up, I'll try and be your guy, try and bring you all the interesting facts and all the interesting things, try and get a few new snippets, get involved on Twitter. Let's see where we go from there. So thank you guys for watching. As ever, hope you're all well, and I'll catch you in the next one. From me, Alex, have a great day. Ciao.